Jimmy Butler, he's a very interesting player to me.
He's like, oh shoot, I don't know where to go with the ball because I haven't been able to think.
It was a great series. Game 4 was one of the best games I've ever watched in my entire life. Now LeBron's a 4-time champion, and Anthony Davis gets his first.
It's unacceptable. So happy when the Astros lost because it would definitely be a 2020 thing.
Yeah, I was impressed by their game. Braden Point, Andre Palat, Nikita Kucherov, that was the best line in the playoffs, no doubt.
Stay undefeated when they face the mighty Cowboys with Garrett Gilbert.
Hey everyone, I'm Jared Sandler, and you're listening to Outsiders Opinions.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our MLB Opinions of the Week. I'm Kevin, and I'm joined by the man that I said hello once again, Austin.
Yeah, Kevin, in this free agency, there's been a lot of teams left off the table, whether it's trades, signings, or anything else. A lot of teams aren't making moves. The few that are include the Dodgers, Yankees, Cardinals. I know you mentioned the Royals before we recorded. And then I know the Giants have been in a lot of it, and they obviously made a big signing earlier this week. But many teams, whether they don't like the pool or whatever, haven't made that many moves.
Yeah, I agree. There have been minor moves like the Rangers have, but the big spenders have been the Dodgers, and the Royals have stuck out to me because they've signed Hunter Renfroe, they got Chris Stratton, they got Will Smith, they signed Michael Wacha. But the big spenders have definitely been the Dodgers with Shohei, but they also got an extension with Tyler Glasnow. Then you have the trade with the Yankees.
Both of them.
So, yeah, both of them. And it's weird. I'm wondering if the Bally situation is a reason for this, because I heard rumors the Rangers weren't going to bring back Montgomery because they're unsure about the money from TV. I'm not sure how correct that is, but it does seem like a lull period, but there are a lot of players still on the market.
Yes, there are. And I'm kind of surprised about some of the names that are still there. Like you mentioned Jordan Montgomery. He played so well this postseason that I would have thought he would have been a hotter commodity. And whether he could be a hot commodity, a lot of teams are talking with his agent and everything, but I just thought he would be gone by now.
Yeah, and you also have Blake Snell. He's still on the board. I wonder if it's Yamamoto. Once Yamamoto's off the board, that's when we see a huge string of signings, because a lot of teams could be in on that. But it still
feels weird.
It does feel weird.
It usually is the big dog that knocks all the other pins down. But in this one, it seems like there's multiple different guys that are keeping the rest of the league on edge before any of the big moves can be made. Whether they're going to set the market or decide what positions are of need for other teams, it does seem a little weird. And the Dodgers are truly, I mean, if you thought they were going in, signing Freddie and trading for Mookie a couple years ago and making all the moves they have, they are definitely all in now.
Yes, I agree. They're definitely, and maybe we can talk about that. Just the amount of deferring the Dodgers are doing, and with the Shohei, because he's going to get $2 million now, then the $680 million the following 10 years. I think this could really hurt the Dodgers, but it is a sign they're going all in. They signed Tyler Glasnow and traded for him too. So, that I wonder what causes for the Dodgers, because they've always been in it, but this seems like huge amounts of spending.
Yeah, and they're committed to a lot of players for a lot of years. Whether I know they're not spending that much on Ohtani, but they're really committing to him for 20 years, if you think about it, because it's $2 million for 10 and then $68 million for 10. That's a large commitment. And if they don't succeed, I think would only mean winning championships for a team like this, it would be very notable.
Yes. And I think we see this in 10 years. They're like, oh my gosh, they're still paying Otani. But yeah, if they get a championship, it's all that matters. And it is nice from Otani that he's doing that. And it makes sense. Now they got Tyler Glass now, but I think there's still one more player they go after. And I'm assuming it's going to be a pitcher.
Who would that be?
I don't know. Like, I've heard rumors of Corbin Burns, but I wonder if their team, maybe they're still on Yamamoto or they're looking at Blake Snell.
I know this seems like a crazy question for a team of the Dodgers stature, but could they afford Yamamoto?
I think it's a fair question, but what is Yamamoto per year?
I mean, that's a good question because he's an out-of-market player, which I think is fair to say because he's coming in as a rookie. I think he kind of determines it himself. What will he accept?
Yeah, because it looks like the deal for Glasnow is 5 years, 135, and that goes to 27 per year. Because with the deferring for the Dodgers, they have two basically 34 million per year spots left, which one is
Yes.
taken up by Tyler Glasnow. So you could, if you want to do all 68 million, if you're the Dodgers, you could give 40 something per year to Yamamoto.
This would be, I would think, the craziest offseason for one team ever. Is that fair to say? Between
Oh yeah,
Otani, Glasnow,
yeah,
and Yamamoto, if that happens? I mean, it's
yeah,
already one of the craziest ever. But this would have to be the craziest for one team, I think, spending-wise and commitment-wise, that I've ever seen.
yeah. I would agree. It's definitely insane now, just with the deferring, because I would rather just take up the cap thing right now with Otani instead of kicking the can down the road.
This is, yeah, I've heard a
Yeah.
lot of people saying this is better for Otani, or I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
better for the Dodgers than it is for Otani,
Oh
or that Otani's doing something nice for the Dodgers by doing this. But no, it really is the best thing possible for Otani. Because, in all honesty, Otani's probably going to make at least 30, 40 million just off advertisements and jersey sales and everything else until he makes the 70 million a year when he turns 40 to 49. So it's extreme. It's drastic, but they are committed. I I would say that every player, besides maybe Kershaw and even Dave Roberts, like if next year they miss the playoffs, I think change will be swift and harsh. If anything goes off track.
yes, I think the level of the expectations is astronomical for the Dodgers, especially if they go get one more person, which they may do. And back to Otani, it's huge for him because if he leaves California and they're paying him, he gets that 68 million. He doesn't have to deal with taxes. So it helps. Otani benefits because he's going to get better players, and then he's also going to get money later.
Let me ask you this. This is what I don't understand about the deferral. Is he still tradable? Like, what happens if you trade him? I don't know. I have no idea what happens if you trade him. Because would you have to pay just like it's still 70 million a year, so if you get him for like those last 2 years, for example, you'd still have to pay him 140? I'd assume that'd be how it works, but because it's like after the fact, you know what I mean? Because it's the years after. Like the Dodgers, even though he did like if he just gets traded for that last year, for example, to try to win a ring, would a team have to pay him just 2 million or 2 and then 68 the next year, or 2 and then 68 in 20 whatever 10 years down the road? The contract is confusing, and honestly, I don't fully understand it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if a lot of people. I'm not sure if it can be understood because it can be canceled if the GM resigns, which, yeah, it's just all
How does
benefiting
that
Otani.
work?
I don't know. Yeah, it seems like there's just so many caveats to this contract, which just raises the stakes for the Dodgers. And I'm, I feel kind of back to like, is the off season going? I feel it will start to heat up, but I could be wrong. We could just be waiting. I think there was this a few years ago with Harper and Machado. They weren't signed till January, correct?
Yeah, I think you're right. But that felt different almost because there are people off the board now. Like Harper and Machado were the two. They were the guys. We've already seen the guy gone. And the fact that it's still a lull, I've never seen this before.
Yeah. This definitely is unprecedented, and I feel I feel something should happen, but we don't know. Maybe more trades keep happening. That may be what teams are looking for right now.
Yeah, I don't really know what's going to happen. This is unprecedented territory, especially with how much this offseason was hyped up. It's kind of been huge moves, and then I couldn't imagine being a fan of even the Cubs, right? They've talked about making a lot of moves, but where have those moves gone? It's they're just in the dust.
Yes, I agree, and so this is our begging for the MLB owners and stuff to get things rolling, and so we can finally start looking at these teams and grading their off seasons. That's all I got. I don't know if you have any final thoughts.
No, I don't. It's kind of all been said.
Let us know what you think in the comments. We appreciate your feedback, and let's see if we can get more comments than signings for other teams or teams participating in free agency. We appreciate you listening to Outside Opinions, and thank you, and we'll see you next time.